"Your mother is simply crazy. Look at what she's doing. How can we leave her with the kids?" Tell me, when John speaks, his voice becomes like a quiet hiss, and it's scarier than a loud shout. Besides, Emma didn't know what to say to him. Something strange is happening with her mother. She started forgetting the simplest things. Leaving the fridge open to defrost completely, that's one thing, but forgetting her wallet at the store, well, that can happen to anyone. But last week, she spent the whole evening wandering around the house because she couldn't remember the apartment number. Thankfully, the neighbors noticed, asked what was wrong, and led her to the door. But what if something happens next time and she's alone with the grandkids? She's helpless as a child. God forbid something terrible happens. Who would be to blame then? And what do you suggest? Emma asked wearily, realizing John wouldn't let it go. Should we lock her up at home? I have a friend who's a neurologist, remember her? Short with long braids. She said it's probably age-related. Mom is almost 70. My grandmother started acting strangely around that age too. I don't really remember it, though. She lived in the countryside after Grandpa died. Maybe loneliness affected her mind. But why is your mom like this? Too much socializing? John said, irritated. Don't get mad at me, Emma. It's not my fault. That's just how my mom is. What can we do? Send her to the countryside so she's out of the way. Why jump straight to the countryside, Emma? John pondered, stroking his chin. Your friend Nina still works at the clinic. Ask her if we can get Judy an examination, and then we'll see. You want to send her to a hospital? Emma sighed, almost knocking over a chair with her abrupt movement. She glared at John. You know what they do to people there? They turn them into living statues, just blinking their eyes. Calm down, John said, trying to take Emma's hand, but she pulled away. She's not okay right now. Think about the kids. Judy is elderly, and who knows how much time she has left. Our kids are young. They'll follow their grandmother anywhere. She's a danger to them. You need to understand that. Emma remained silent, and John took it as agreement. You think I enjoy suggesting this? But it has to be done. New medications have been invented recently. They help people live normal lives, even work. Emma spoke softly, almost to herself. At least in the hospital, she'll get the medication under medical supervision. It might be safer. John approached Emma from behind and hugged her. She didn't resist, but she was terrified to admit to herself that she didn't believe in any treatment for her mother. Those new medications were probably very expensive, and there was no guarantee they would help. Leaving her mother with the kids was indeed dangerous. They might have to find a clinic for her. They couldn't live like this anymore. Emma and John had no idea their oldest daughter, Emily, had overheard their conversation. Emily remembered when her grandfather was taken to the hospital and never returned. Her mom said he went on a journey. Everyone was very sad. Emily was angry at her grandfather for leaving and not wanting to come back. What if the hospital made him forget everyone? Now her parents wanted to send her grandmother there too. What if she never came back? Emily had to find a way to change their minds. But how? She saw a book of fairy tales on her nightstand and had an idea. She would ask a magician for help. Maybe the magician could convince her parents not to send her grandmother away. The next morning, Emily woke up early, quietly got dressed, packed her backpack, and left the apartment. Her parents thought she couldn't open the door by herself, but it was easy for her. She just had to press down while turning the key. Judy woke up to the sound of commotion. The apartment was in chaos. Emma was frantically packing a backpack with a flashlight, matches, and other camping gear, while little Billy was throwing toys on the floor, thinking it was a fun game. "What's going on?" Judy asked, looking around in confusion. "Not now, Mom," Emma snapped, giving Judy a stern look. "Emily is missing." "Missing? How?" Judy almost fainted. "She's not just out for a walk. I've called everyone. The guys will be here soon to help search," John said, zipping up his bag. He turned to Emma. "Stay here and watch Billy. I'll make some calls." "No, I'm coming with you," Emma insisted, standing up with Billy in her arms. "Stay home and keep an eye on your mother." "We don't need to search for two people," John said, rushing out the door. The police and volunteers searched diligently, but there was no sign of Emily. John systematically checked with the parents of all of Emily's friends, but no one had seen her. Late that night, John returned home. No one had slept. Emma was rocking Billy, and Judy was sitting by the window, staring into the distance. "Any news?" Emma asked anxiously. "Nothing yet. Maybe she's just out playing," Judy suggested, turning away from the window. "Mom, what are you talking about?" Emma looked at her in horror. "I warned you, Judy." John exploded. "You're completely out of it. Your granddaughter is missing and you're clueless." He suddenly stopped mid-sentence, looking at Emma with fear in his eyes. What if Emily is the same way? What if she inherited it? "She's just a kid. It can't be true." Emma covered her mouth, looking at her mother. Judy seemed calm, as if she didn't understand the danger her granddaughter was in. "Please, let her be found safe," John said, collapsing onto the couch and rubbing his face wearily. "And you, Judy, I'm taking you to the hospital myself," he said, turning to her with disgust. "You've caused enough trouble for this family. Let the doctors handle this. I just want to live in peace with my kids." Hearing this, Emma started crying again, and Billy joined in with a loud wail. John sighed and left the room. Why is he so angry? Judy wondered. "Why do I need to go to the hospital?" "Oh, Mom," Emma said, trying to calm Billy down. "Just be quiet. If we don't find Emily, I won't be able to live with myself. She's probably just playing hide and seek. You don't know where to look. Emily is clever, she hides well. Only I can find her," Judy said confidently. Emma shook her head and left the room with Billy. She couldn't bear the thought of her mother's condition and her daughter's disappearance. Was this some kind of punishment for their sins? What had they done to deserve this? Emma couldn't sleep all night and finally dozed off just before dawn. She was awakened by a joyful cry of "Mom," and saw Emily running into the room. Overwhelmed with relief, Emma hugged her daughter tightly. John followed Emily into the room, moving slowly as if afraid to disrupt the scene. But it was real. Emily had returned home safe and sound, though her clothes were dirty. "You scared us so much," Emma exclaimed, still holding Emily tightly. "Where were you? What happened?" "I went to find a magician," Emily explained calmly. "I wanted Grandma to stay with us," she said, looking up at her mother. "What does Grandma have to do with this?" Emma asked, confused. "You wanted to send her to the hospital like Grandpa, and then he disappeared." "I wanted Grandma to stay," Emily said, glancing at her father. "So you went to find a magician?" Emma asked, trying to understand. "Yes," Emily said innocently. "I went to the secret place Grandma and I have. Magicians live in towers, and our secret place is high up like a real tower. I thought a magician would come." "What secret place? What towers?" Emma asked, starting to worry that Emily might have inherited her grandmother's condition. "It's up there," Emily said, pointing to the ceiling. "You have to climb a lot of stairs." I was so tired by the time I got there. And then you have to open a little door to get into the tower." "What towers?" Emma whispered, her voice barely audible. "The attic," John said, finally understanding. "So you were in the attic this whole time? I didn't even know it could be opened. And while we were searching for you, you were hiding in the attic." Emma looked at Emily in disbelief. "How could you do this to us?" she asked. "I just wanted Grandma to stay with us. And it worked. I made a wish that if Grandma found me, she would stay with us forever," Emily explained. Only then did Emma notice Judy standing in the doorway. "See? I found her," Judy said with a shrug. "I told you I could find her playing hide and seek." Judy turned and left the room. "Promise you won't send Grandma away," Emily pleaded, looking at her parents. "I'll go with her if you do. I can't go through this again." John handed Emma his phone. "Call Nina and ask her to get us that medication. Judy found Emily for us. I can't just send her away now. Let's try the treatment first. Medicine has come a long way. It might work." Emma nodded and dialed the number. John picked up Emily and carried her to the kitchen, where Judy was calmly reheating breakfast. "Grandma's not going anywhere, but don't you ever run off like that again," John said, setting Emily down gently. Emily nodded happily. She was glad the magician had helped, and her grandmother was staying home. Maybe if she asked nicely, the magician could make her grandmother better too. If you enjoyed this story, please support me with a like. And to stay updated on new stories, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Thank you, and have a great day.